Hello, welcome to a new video. This week we've got behind the scenes, what's going on in my art studio, sorting out my paint palettes and having a little bit of a sort of getting organised sort of thing. And also I am doing a mixed media painting process of a picture of a lone tree, a very wintry lone tree. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching. Okay, so I was tidying up. A little bit distracted because these palettes, so one of them was watercolour, one of them was gouache, and they've kind of got a bit mixed up. They're just a mess. They need washing up and starting again. And I'm actually thinking of doing it so that I know what colours are in here, so a particular order. The thing is though, I hate waste, and we've got some decent amounts of paint in some of these. Now I know some of you will be laughing at me and some of you will be agreeing with me. Everyone's feelings about abundance are different. I'm not good with waste, I'm not good with this. So one thing I'm going to do is, and I've done this before, you might have seen it, I've got this Flower Fairies watercolour card pack, which is just a nice thing to do with my leftover paint. So I've made a start on some of these when I've had a bit of leftover paint. And I'm just going to carry on. Mainly I've got skin tones to do, which is fine. I've got some skin tones here. But yeah, there's the odd background that I could do with doing again. Some of them are kind of rough looking. I thought I'd just run through and use up some of my paint on this. And then I do need to start afresh, I think. Okay, back to my podcast. Not podcast actually, I'm listening to an audiobook. It's called Rules of Civility. I'm really enjoying it. It's not quite enough of a plot driven book to keep me interested enough to choose this over a good podcast, but I really like the style of the writing, so I'm keeping up with it, and yeah, I do like this one.
You earned it, you keep it. Come on, Hank, I earned it for the both of us.
Hello, welcome to the start of a new painting. Look at this white sheet. It's lucky I don't actually find the start daunting. I just want to get on with it. So that's one good thing at least. I just get stuck throughout the entire process. The last painting took me so long. I am so fed up of something taking ages, so I'm going to be quite slapdash with this. I've now bought a whole pile of canvas panels all ready to go, and I'm going to go with the mindset that maybe only 1 in 5, even 1 in 10 paintings are good enough, and so I'm going to try and be less precious in making an amazing painting that's good enough to sell every time. That's been my struggle. So anyway, the photo I'm using, I remember taking the photograph. It was in my folder of things to paint, so I can't tell you when it was from. It was either Dartmoor or Exmoor. I always get the two mixed up. I think it was Exmoor actually, Exmoor National Park. And we went right to near the top of this hill, and then we went walking up, and then it started pouring with rain. Anyway, long story short, I saw this tree and I thought that made a nice composition with the rocks in the foreground as well. So I'm going to go for this one, and I'm going to make it wintry. It is already quite wintry looking, although I suspect it was the end of summer perhaps that we were there. I think it was one of the very first trips in our new camper van. I'm hopefully going to keep it pretty. I'm going to use, I think, a lot of sparkle in this one. I'm going to go very neutral, lots of greys. I'm going to probably use my charcoal XL blocks, and not charcoal, graphite XL blocks, because they're a little bit sparkly anyway, and get some sweeping motions going, and then I was going to sort of make it look like it's frosty. For your first reaction to be, oh that's beautiful, rather than, oh that looks dark and dismal. That's what I'm trying to get to. And I think the way to do that for a wintry picture is to add a little bit of frost. So that's what I'm going for. Dramatic skies. I'm definitely going to, I really like the sort of adding a little bit of turquoise. That's my favourite colour at the moment. So I'm going to actually add turquoise into the sky make it a darker grey than we've got it in this picture. Anyway, I'm going to try and do this one much faster and looser and expressive. I think it suits my temperament to get something done a bit quicker, and I've actually been finding that my results, they do happen quite quickly, but what slows me down is me. You know, it's not that the process takes a long time, it's that I get scared of not knowing what to do next and messing it up. And so that's why I want this change of mindset where it doesn't matter if I do mess it up. Okay, here's the last one. Oh, good solid bit of card. I'll keep that just in case that comes in handy. Right, I think I've just got 2 to fold. And here we are. I'm going to call these done. I mean, they're not perfect, they're not brilliant, but I think they will make really pretty cards. And I shall begin by sending one to my niece. And I'm a bit late because I'm a terrible aunt. Here they all are. I think they're really pretty. So there we are, all done, and that was a real bit of fun, bit of indulging. Maybe that's something to try when you're sort of stuck and you can't get going, but you really want to get your paints out. It's quite a nice sort of warm up, and it's just nice to feel the paint. This is proper watercolour paper. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but it was 300 GSM, which is, you know, perfectly good. Yeah, I think it's always nice to have something where you don't have to think, you know, you can just pick up your paintbrush and create something without having to be too precious about it. That'll keep me going for a little while. Still got some paint left over, obviously, and what I started doing is using this cheap watercolour paper, and I've used this before for mopping up paint off my table and creating nice splodges for backgrounds for future drawings, but I got a bit bored of that. So do you know what, I might just do it. It was really funny just now. I went online to have a look to see how much these palettes cost. They're £10 each, by the way. From Art Discount they're a bit cheaper, but you can also get them on Amazon if you search 42 Well palette. Really recommend these. They're pretty good at being airtight. Just loads of space. I like all the different wells. It gives you an opportunity for them not to mix up. Anyway, I was looking to see, well, I just thought, well, maybe I could just go and buy 2 new ones. Then I could just keep this and use this as and when I need to. Then I thought, I'm about to spend £20 on 2 new palettes that I don't really need in order to save how much worth of paint. And I just thought, what is this? 20p? 20p probably worth of paint, 50p maybe, but really, I mean, most of this is used up completely. So I think I'm just going to have to take it to the tap and clean it up, but maybe that'll be a job for another day. But yeah, I'm glad I got these cards done, and like I said, I definitely recommend having some sort of project on the go that's just easy, like I said, so you could just enjoy the process of painting, maybe doing swatches, you know, something like that, just to get you out of a rut. Gosh, when you look at them like that, they're all just so pretty. Hello again, and we're back to this painting. It's actually been a week at least, I think, since I did this layer. First of all, I was painting the kitchen, finishing off the kitchen walls. And then Mum and my sister came to stay for a few days, so that was really nice and we had a lovely time. And I hate leaving things for a while because then I forget where I was heading. I forget what I was thinking about at the time. So I must try and remember not to start one unless I'm ready to finish it. Then plan next, I think I'm going to start my watercolour layer. Normally I would cover quite a bit with watercolour, but actually I love this so much. I got some beautiful marks and textures they're so faint, some of them, where I drew with watercolour pencils into the wet paint and stuff, but I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful, some of this, and I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to experiment, I think, with this piece, keeping it quite minimal, definitely layering paint less. So I'm going to fill in the gaps. I want this darker up at the top here. Oh well, the battery died and now I'm back. I can't remember what I was saying. I was probably just waffling on. I shall just stop talking and start painting. So I can't do it, folks. I can't just go and wash these up. I know it's like only worth about 20p of that, but I just can't do it. So I found this sketchbook that I've bought. I obviously bought it for a reason. I must have had a project in mind, but I can't remember what that reason was. I've got this A5 watercolour pad. Oh, I think I might know. I wanted to have a go at watercolour abstracts. Anyway, I'm just going to create some backgrounds. I'm just going to do some mottled backgrounds and there we have it. I can draw and practice over the top. That's what I'm going to do. I can't wash it up. I just can't. So, bit of fun. Nice way to warm up for the day. Well, I have to say that's one of the most enjoyable hours I've spent, maybe a bit more than that actually. Feels a little bit indulgent, but oh my gosh, that was just so much fun. So here we go. This is everything that I've done so far. Well, I have filled this sketchbook and I love, oh my gosh, I just love watercolour paper, watercolour paints and an ordinary sketchbook. That it just buckles up, the colours don't blend. I remember, I think it was my aunt and uncle gave me a watercolour sketchbook and my mind was blown. It's just beautiful, and I do quite like Canson. I can do flowers in front, I can do fairies in front. Gosh, that one's gone a bit darker. I love this one, this is one of my favourites. That's the last page, I've finished. And I've still got some paint. So what I've decided to do, because I'm honestly just enjoying myself so much, I've got this pad. I'll sort of go really until I run out of neutrals to sort of knock them back a bit. But yeah, I have not got much left. I reckon it'll only be about 3 sheets, I think. Well, we'll see how we go. Then I'm going to wash it up. Well folks, I think I've done it. I'll be honest with you, I could scrape some more paint out here and there, but I've had enough really. I've been doing this almost all day. Yeah, there's the odd patch of paint, but I'm much happier now. I can wash this up. So I'm quite pleased. I'm really looking forward to sorting out the palettes. And these are the sheets, the bigger sheets of paper that I've done. I'll just whiz through them. So of course I'll let you know what it is I decide to do on top. I'm quite excited about that as well. I'm in the mood to do some drawing. I haven't done drawing really. I do a bit in my sketchbook. That's always quite rushed because I've only got like 10 minutes while we sit there and Chris waits for me. quite often. Oh, that's gone weird there. So I quite like the idea of doing a drawing on top. I don't know whether it will be flowers or fairies. I could do some practice figures over the top. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I will obviously show you what I do. It's quite interesting mixing up different colours, and it was just so much fun, and I really felt like I needed this because it was quite intense doing that course, the mastery program, particularly at the end. You are under pressure to finish your portfolio, and there's not really much time and space for error. You know, you make a bad painting, then you can quickly become another week behind, and so it was just nice. I felt like, yeah, I did need this, just fun. It didn't matter what happened, it didn't matter if it went wrong. You couldn't really go wrong, to be honest. I did like this blend of orange and blue. I know it was a bit of an indulgent day, and you could say not very productive, but I think I can produce some quite nice drawings over the top. There we are, that was the last one. Oh well, I've been working on this for a while and I am so pleased with it. It's almost worked out too well. Is that really big-headed of me to say? Probably. I just think it's captured the atmosphere that I wanted and I like it. So I've just added, you're not going to be able to see it I don't think, I've just done a little spray. The battery just ran out again. I think I need to invest in some new ones. So yeah, I think I was saying I have just covered this area in the Brusho acrylic shimmer spray. It's very subtle. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'm waiting for it to dry, so I thought I may as well come and chat to you for a little bit. And so I shouldn't be thinking that, oh gosh, this just isn't complicated enough, as long as it's got a nice effect and it's pretty, which is what I wanted. I'm just sort of looking at it. I don't like this here, which is supposed to be a rock. Let me just do that quickly now. Scrape it a little bit more with the palette knife, I think. Bring back a little bit of, yeah, I think it just had gone too smushy. Yeah, that's already better. So I'm going to add some splats of white. I'm a bit nervous about this because of course you can never control splats of white. But for the first time I'm going to use Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. So if you can't see the sparkles, there's nothing about this that looks all that frosty. Is it dry enough? I don't want it to smush. Yeah, I think it is actually. Quickly change my water. I'll be back in a moment. And there we go. It's one of those pieces I don't want to overwork, so I'm going to leave it like that. I will prop it up on somewhere where I see it on my mantelpiece. Oh, I shall add my signature. I was going to put it here, but actually I think maybe over here would be a better balance. Enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't done already, and don't forget that painting will be on my website helenhobden.com if you are interested. Take care and I will see you again soon. Bye.